Hey everybody, this is episode 115 of the Paper Robots podcast. I'm your host, Logan Naugle, and this week's episode is a collaboration episode with Cynthia Garrett and myself, and we're talking about random thoughts and things that have been happening. Thanksgiving just happened recently, and how the rest of the year is going to turn out. Let's jump right into the show. Go with the theme song. All right, so this episode I wanted to catch up with everything that's been happening since Thanksgiving. Turkey Day just recently happened, but we had the holiday off, and then I saw people that vacation a little bit, and I had random thoughts to talk about, and then we'll get into what we've been watch, listening, and how our projects are going. So first, on last episode, I talked about to the listeners and now viewers that we got engaged.
Yay, look at that. Check it out. I don't know where the camera's at, but yeah.
So now you're my fiance.
Yeah, you're my fiance. I always accidentally say, because I'm still trying to get used to it, so I'll be like my boyfriend, but then I'm like in the middle of it, I'll be like my boy fiance.
And then people just shake.
Sounds really creepy.
Like, no, that is not okay.
Like, oh no. Sorry, I kind of bumped the mic when I did that.
That's okay. It's not okay. It's fine. But yeah.
I said yes. You already asked me too late.
Yeah, I know. You already said yes. So I talked about that and talked about how we went to Tucson Comic-Con and how it was actually really good. The 10th anniversary was really fun.
It was great.
Better than expected. I talked about how the year before was there's changes, but then this year kind of fixed those problems.
Yeah, for
exactly.
Sure. It was good. Yeah, it was definitely a huge relief that it was good, because I know everybody was nervous, but at least even if it was bad, it was like, hey, we got to see friends and family, and you asked me to marry you, so that was really cool, and we had a really good convention, so it was an awesome trip altogether.
I'm just gonna be blushing now the whole time.
You are. You have the white bouncing off your face, and
that's constant white balance problems with this episode.
I know. Look at us.
Okay, we're getting too gross. Usually it's just audio, so people don't have to suffer through this. Exactly. I apologize. Okay, so first of all, Thanksgiving just happened, but what I wanted to talk about is, all right, so I have a day job. And I was looking out the window of my day job vacantly, as I do, like this.
That's actually, people know him for that face. So hey, Logan, I saw you walking down the street the other day. You had this confused look on your face, and it's that. Or he's standing at the front counter oh, Logan, you're right, man. And he's just thinking about and
I'm actually deep in thought.
You're probably thinking about maybe, I don't know,
quantum physics.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll go with that.
The universe is connected.
I like cupcakes too.
It's more about cupcakes. No, so I was giving this stare. Sorry, listeners. I was giving this. Just think of a vague, empty, mindless stare, and that's what I was doing. Viewers, the new video version, you guys get to actually see it. I was staring out into the window, and I was like, what is this? And this family, this mom and their daughter was in this wagon, but it was a modern contemporary wagon where it had everyone knows what a red wagon is, right? I mean, okay. So instead of the red wagon, it had a little bit higher walls, and you know how they used to have the wood paneled wall on the this red wagon? No, it had metal pipes, and then those were covered in a kind of canvasy material, and then but it still just had a handle, and it was 4 wheels, and so I was blankly staring at it we've come so far and made this advanced but it's still just a basic ass wagon.
Yeah.
I just was kind of what that you thought you had to improve on it, but you didn't really do anything to change the structural integrity of this thing.
It's just style, keeping up with the times, make
So,
it
like,
look cool for all the
I
hip
want this,
parents
like,
in Portland.
Millennial parent with their
yeah.
like, oh no, it has to have like this cool red wagon. And can't. No, they would want the really old rusty, like, as long as you didn't get your tetanus shot. I just thought, okay, so I just had the randomest thing of like how we can like make all these improvements on things, but it's like it has no more new form function. It doesn't have like a built-in power battery for the
it doesn't
kids
have,
like
like
tablet.
power shock absorbing when you run over rocks or anything.
No, but they build baby carts like that now.
Yeah.
But instead they still sell this like get the all new
awesome
red
baby.
wagon. Yeah, it's like I saw this and those are the kind of thoughts that happened in my head. Yeah.
So that's your Thanksgiving thoughts?
Well, that was the first one.
Okay.
That's what happened on like the week of Thanksgiving as I was staring out the window at my day job. So I had that one, but I have a few other thoughts, but I wanted to talk about Thanksgiving traditions and like memories.
Okay.
Because we are starting our own new tradition.
I know, since we're going to be a family and stuff and all that.
No, I'm super excited. Okay, so our tradition, so this is something I kind of did with when my parents like got divorced from a broken home, everybody.
That's why you grew up weird, you guys. It makes sense. Look at him. Look at it. Oh.
No.
I like bad boys that come from broken homes.
Yeah.
Have lived hard lives.
But like something we did with my mom is like she would like, she'd cook turkey all the time. But then sometimes we were like, I mean, if it's just going to be like a small Thanksgiving, we don't need this big old turkey and all this stuff. So we started doing this tradition of like, we'll just make a feast of food that we want and we'll hang out and just be a family that way. And so you and I kind of have adopted this of like for the past 2 years now.
Where we pick what food we want to eat, whatever random thing it is. This year for me it was lasagna. I wanted some lasagna and wine.
And
Lots of
wine. That sounds all right.
And then you got your pie.
I got a Reese's cream pie. It
was
so good.
Amazing.
So good.
But yeah, like it's interesting coming from like those different things because with me, a Mexican family and my mom's Mexican and my dad, he was adopted, so he's not sure exactly what he is, but he's very white. So my dad was all about Thanksgiving because I was like, he got to have his mashed potatoes and his meat and stuffing and all of that. And so we had a mix of that, but then we would also have like tamales. And like my mom would make flan and she also makes pumpkin mousse. That's amazing. And so usually our tradition was like, okay, we would like my mom would make all this food. We'd help out a little bit, but classic Mexican mom, she'd be like, you guys don't help me. You guys don't do anything. And we'll try and go help. She's like, no, I'll do it myself. She was a classic Mexican mom. And so we'd usually eat in the middle of the day and get all dressed up and fancy and everything.
You get all fancy?
Oh, yeah. We got like really fancy on Thanksgiving.
Why?
Because it's just what we do. Because after we would eat, we would go to probably 2 other family members' houses. We'd probably go to one other aunt's probably or uncle's house, and then we'd go to my grandma's. At the end, everybody goes to my grandma's. They would bring something extra or whatever it was, and but that started to change, of course, once my grandparents got older, or because then they would have to eat at somebody else's house, or someone would have to cook over there.
Weird memories though of like from Thanksgiving?
When my brother dislocated his pinky, it was disgusting. So I have a photo.
Is this like when you guys are like really little though?
Yeah,
this is like last year.
He must have been. I think Bobby was probably 12 or 13. But him and my older brother were playing football outside. And they would rarely ever do that. Like all of a sudden at Thanksgiving, they're all like, "Oh, let's go outside and throw the football." So they're outside doing that. And then Bobby comes in and he's like doing the weird, like kind of hysterical laughing, but also panicking. And he's like holding his arm up, and I didn't see it right away, but he had his arm up like this. And then his pinky, like just right, like a perfect right angle, like at this knuckle, his pinky was sticking
Wait, bend your
out.
pinky? Bend your pinky? Bend your pinky.
I'm trying.
It's like blam.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So then my dad panicked a lot more than my mom, of course. And then, they took him to the hospital, and we all laughed because they're like, Bobby ruined Thanksgiving, but he really didn't. It was just, yeah.
White folks do it different. Well, so like growing up, you always go to Thanksgiving. Like, I don't know how this is. You always go to Thanksgiving and you go to your family's house, and it's either like the aunt, like every year it's going to be at the grandma's, or it's going to like everyone goes. And so you cook and then you meet there around noon, and then it just kind of like you're there all day.
Yeah.
And you go one place and you just spend all day there. So you either get up like really early in the morning so you can cook there, or you kind of cook and bring it in. And I think as we got older, the later we would go, we're like, well, we'll just cook at home so we cannot go with the family. But I remember it was at my aunt's house, and we were like all around the table, and there's all this food, and I was still really young. When I was a kid, I didn't eat anything that wasn't like beige or had like sauce, cheese, and stuff on it. Basically, pizza, spaghetti,
mashed potatoes,
hamburgers. But no, I was all like, yeah, bread with like meat on it and stuff.
or cheese. Yeah.
Or cheese. It was that was me growing up. So I didn't like vegetables. And my parents made me try, well, not my parents, my family made me try green bean like casserole. And I still don't really know what's in it, but it's like creamy and it's green beans, and then it has the onion sprinkle on top. Didn't like onions growing up as a kid. Now I like them. I like a lot of vegetables. I've changed.
I'm vegetarian.
She can verify that I do eat vegetables now. Sushi and stuff, but no big deal. I eat now. I eat like a normal person. So I didn't want to try them. And my family was like, you have to try it. And they're like, you're not going to get dessert. You're not going to leave the table. You're going to, whatever. They were like threatening me all 6 different ways.
Little Logan.
just guilting me. I'm like, I guess I'll try it. I guess. And like, I eat it and immediately go throw up.
Aww.
So to this day, I don't like green beans. It's like when you're 21 and like whatever your drink of choice is, like that you got way too like blackout drunk like in your 20s on, you can't have that type of alcohol. That's green beans for me. But like 6-year-old, like, nope, green beans are now like a trigger of like, no, I can't do it.
No. I just remember another adorable thing my parents would do during Thanksgiving. Some like my parents would drink wine, like they would have their wine glasses, and like my mom would never drink wine really ever. My dad wouldn't either. Like he would have beer. But I just remember Thanksgiving because that was like when my mom would bring out the wine glasses and everything, and then they'd have their wine that they would drink. And then they would also get us wine glasses, but they put cider in it. It's like we felt so fancy. We were little, all dressed up. We were like, "Ooh, cider, yummy."
Okay, I would get dressed up for family Thanksgiving, but then once it kind of shifted in like when we were in high school and stuff, and we were just like, we're just gonna stay home. Logan's sick. We were just casual as heck. Yeah. So I thought that was really funny.
Kind of like what we do now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we pick our favorite foods and we pick our movies. We each choose 1 to 3 movies. Mm-hmm. Like last year, we watched Iron Giant
and Where the Wild Things Are.
Where the Wild Things Were. We found out where they were.
Where they is.
Where
Is you wild
where
things.
They will
Where is
be.
you?
Where the Wild Things will be. The prequel to the Wild. They just like Max goes and it's just an empty desert because they aren't there yet. It's a prequel. It's a whole. They're making universe.
They weren't wild yet. You had to wait for them to get wild.
It's the Wild Thing expanded universe that they're working on. There's origins for all the wildest things.
Which gross couple fact about us. That's our favorite children's book. High five me. We practice missing high fives. Yeah.
Super cute. Listeners, we missed a high five. That's why you didn't hear the clap.
Not sorry.
That's why you didn't hear the clap. Well, okay, so this brings me to another thing, was watching movies.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll get into like we went and saw Coco also. And
amazing.
When we talk about what we're watching later, that's one of the movies. But watching trailers and stuff on YouTube a lot. One thing I've noticed that I'm like so sick of now that has been overdone in all these like movies. You know, it used to be the wow thing, but now it's just taking like whatever rock song or epic song or ballad song and like turning it down and making it like doing a alternate version.
Back in Black.
Oh, well, there's Back in Black that is on everything, but no, the like slower like. Sweet dreams, like that's already a slow song, but now it's like sweet, and then it's like this epic like slow shot. I'm so sick of the adapting of songs that are like, this is how you know it's gonna be either like edgy or dark, is because they took this song that is a pop song and they like turned down the gain and they like made it slower.
Yeah,
I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, which I was actually reading about the like Mandela effect and stuff, and then while I was reading about that, it's like different situations where it happened, like the Kazam thing, and then also that came up was that horn noise that happens in Inception, and how everybody thinks Inception started that. It was just in the trailer of Inception apparently, and it was either Transformers or District 9 that started that noise. So
curses.
Yeah.
But see, yeah, so I mean like,
and then everybody does it now.
Yeah, and same with these like their dramatic versions of famous songs.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for like some Katy Perry song. Fire. Wow. And I was like slowing it down. No, I'm done with that. That's now super played out.
By the way, in this video, you can see me kill a couple of glasses of wine because that's just what I do.
And I'm drinking wine juice. I know something we made up on.
I'm kind of like Tyrion.
And I'm more just like wine juice.
But not as clever.
I'm not gonna argue. Oh, was I supposed to argue with that?
I don't know.
Well, okay.
No, you're not.
All right. And I have other random thing.
Okay.
Oh wait, where? Oh, nope. This is such a good radio.
I could dance for people.
That's also not good for listeners. We still listen.
I know, but that would get them to watch the video so they could see like my moves that I practice all the time.
Just like, hey, hit that.
I'm doing like this white girl dance that involves clapping right now.
No, stop. I'll talk. I'll talk. I'm sorry.
Yeah, get it together, Logan. It's your fault this happened.
Mm-hmm. I know better now.
Yeah.
No, we could talk about like what we're working on.
Okay.
So
who's going first?
I'll start.
Okay.
Recently, Beard and Frog was going to be a 4-issue story, and then there was delays and things have been happening behind the scenes. So I'm actually shifting it, and then so now coming out in 2018, I'm going to kind of collect all the stories. So the first 2 issues that have come out, which is about 20, so 2 24-page issues, so 48 pages of book is already out in issues, and there's about, I want to say 70 pages left of story that hasn't been told yet. 70 to 80 pages of story that isn't out. And so that was going to be 4 issues altogether, and then I would like later collect it. Instead, I've decided to rework it where I'm collecting all the material, all the pages, so like 80 some pages of material into 2-volume like softcover paperback that I will probably do a Kickstarter for sometime in early to mid 2018. And that's a promise. No, that's not going to be a new thing that I do. And that's a Paper Robots promise.
Finger guns. Yeah.
Smash that subscribe button if you like what you're hearing. No. Check comments down below. But so I have that happening with Beard and Frog. It's just something I was thinking about that I really want to get the story out there, but I'm ready for it to be collected and just kind of, since there already has been delays, instead of trying to get another issue out and then the last issue and then collect everything, just like cut out the middleman and release everything that hasn't been released when it's all put together. And then you get to buy it in 2 trades that will look really pretty, and they'll have extra material in the back, and you'll get to send me money and thank you in advance. Money, please. She is the worst. So that's something that's happening. That's like a recent change, I think, even since last podcast.
And as somebody that sees what happens behind the scenes, I am super excited for this because there's a lot going on with Beard and Frog, and I'm happy to see like it finish up and it going along and having everybody else read that, and then also your other projects. Yeah.
Which, okay, so then I have the ghost story with Tanya Verdugo, that slice of life ghost story that I'm still working on. Her and I are working on that, and I hope to have it wrapped early 2018 and then release late 2018 would be hopefully the turnaround time. Obviously, money permitting. But that's going to look like a 48-page kind of trade graphic novel collected book as well. Basically, all my books coming out in the future from now till the end of forever, unless I get signed. That's Paper Robots promise. Unless I get signed, I would like to release things in the way I feel like they're intended, which is probably going to be graphic novels or trade, like complete. You're going to read a thing and be like, this is good, I want more, maybe, or I don't know. So I have that coming out. Then there's the anthology, scary story anthology.
Spooky.
It's called Shuttervale. It's 4 short stories with themes of fear and love. It's scary stories written by me. Art by the wonderful Stephen Russell Black.
Seriously, look him up. He's amazing. So good.
I'll put the links in the down below.
Yes. He has amazing work.
Yeah, and it's something I've kind of mentioned on here before, but yeah, I'm very excited. That is also, I believe, Stephen will end up running a Kickstarter campaign for that, and our plan is to have it out in 2018 as well. So 2018 should be a year of releases and books. 2017 was a hot mess of what was going on in the world, and it affected everyone, I think.
Yeah.
And so if I could zoom on Cynthia's eyes right now, just like
like little eyes. I have really small eyes, by the way.
So I've those going on, and then recently I found an artist. Nothing's set in stone yet, so I don't want to release too much information. There's this Western I've been dying to tell, and I currently have an artist starting to get attached to it, and then we are going to try to pitch that for the Creators for Creators grant. And as much as I would rather not have competition, I'll explain what that is really quick. Basically, a bunch of people from Image and other comic book studios and publishers team together. So it's just independently created. It's a $30,000 grant, and you submit like you would submit a pitch to any publisher that would take it. It's a pitch for your comic with your creative team that you assemble, and you have to send your letter of intent. So it's writer gets this much, the artist will get this, these are our terms and conditions, and then attach the pitch to that. You submit it, and then they'll reveal who they chose, and that team will get $30,000. And I think it's to produce their pitch within a year later or something. It's a really cool grant because all these people and like Matt Fraction's attached to it a lot, and Layla something starts with a D, who's just on the book Shutter, also an Image book. All these people were talking about how they didn't have that. You just had to pitch and grind, and it'd be great that there are so many people out there that just, if they had the money or they get something started, but then both or all 5 of the people attached to the book have their day job, and then life happens and tragedy or whatever it may be. So this was like, well, what if you had this grant that you could at least focus and spend it like that money on this book?
Yeah.
So I am doing that with this Western, with presumably this artist I've been talking to. They know who they are. And then if it doesn't get picked, we're going to go from there and decide what we want to do with it. And if we'll still stay on it or kind of back burner it, depending. So I have those 4 books currently. And then there's like 3 other ideas that you know about that I've talked about, like the fantasy thing and stuff like that I'm going to not try to overburden myself with stuff. So once everything else gets moving, I can add more books back on. That's kind of what I have cooking. I'm going to refresh your drink while you
Thank you.
Tell the listeners and viewers
what I have going on. Oh, man. All right. So right now I am pretty much at the end of my blind boxes. So I came out with the Land of 10 blind boxes over the summer, and I made about close to 200 of these. And I am basically sold out right now. I'm doing a giveaway on my Instagram, which by the time this comes out, I think I'm going to be done with it. But yeah, it was an amazing
What's your Instagram?
At 10 times the tiger.
And you can check it out in the links down below. Hit that subscribe button right there.
Yes. And so I'm finishing up with that, which is so like, doing the blind boxes was something I had always wanted to do. I had, like, as being a toy designer, and blind boxes is so cool. Like, growing up getting blind boxes, and I like the hunt. I like the mystery. So it was really cool to come out with my blind boxes, all these 7 characters, original designs. And that's actually I give Logan all my reject ones, all the ones that don't come out right. Logan has them, and these are them.
I put them on my shelf.
I know, he's so sweet. But yeah, like, it's just so freaking cool to have. Like, I didn't realize I'd have that much support or even sell that many items of, like, from one piece of art that I had or one line or whatever it was. So it's like that's really cool. It's very challenging, very gratifying, but also I'm excited to move on to new things. And
I know you are.
Yeah.
It's the classic artist, like, you draw something and you hate it.
Well,
so it's like, but you get over it.
I've drawn it so many times, or made it so many times. Like I said, I've made almost 200 of these, so it's time. Like, I love these
creatures. I just am physically ready to make something else.
Exactly. So I'm excited to move away from that, and the next couple projects that I have, there's the Star Wars toys that I'm working on with.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. So I like most people, I get a lot of influence from music and pop culture. And since Bat Cow, I haven't really made anything that's like pop culture influenced. And
it's true.
So I'm doing that with these Star Wars toys. I have a Kylo Del Rey toy that I'm working on with Tanya Verdugo that you also work with.
What?
He's very pretty. So it's a crossover between Kylo Ren and Lana Del Rey. And then I have the Childish Calrissian, which is Lando, Star Wars, and Childish Gambino. And I have the sculpt already working on that for Kylo Del Rey, and I just got more clay, so I'm going to be sculpting Lando soon.
And we're going to send Donald Glover one.
Oh, God.
We're going to mail it to Donald Glover in hopes that
he'll never talk to me.
He'll go to our wedding.
Or yeah, we could invite him to our wedding.
Yeah. Hey, we made this.
Sure he doesn't talk to me. I'll be too nervous.
No, I'll be like, look, the hottest event this year.
Naugle wedding 2018
is the Naugle wedding 2018.
Yeah.
And then he'll do like a slow, dramatic cover of a song. I'll be like, is this a movie trailer?
Oh my God, we should do a movie trailer invitation for a wedding. What?
It's like that's something Michael Scott would do from The Office.
I still really want to do this.
Okay, we're doing it. We're going to do it. We're going to film it only on iPhones.
Or us as Muppets. I'm down with that too. See, I know him. I know him. I know what he likes.
Actually, can we just get married as Muppets? That'd be like way cooler. Like,
yeah. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, things I'm working on. So I have those toys I'm working on. And also super cool thing that I officially got the invitation for is having a gallery showing at Sequential Art Gallery. And that's in Portland. And it's freaking cool because they normally only do comics. So as a toy designer, I'm like, oh my God. And it's invite only. Like they have to ask you to be part of the gallery. They don't take applications or anything. So I was like, oh God, that's super exciting. Really cool. Very flattering. So for that, I'm planning part of doing Land of 10 when I came out with the blind boxes was to introduce these original characters that I've designed, build the world, and Santino Arturo is the artist that I worked with on it. And for what I'm planning for the show is going to be big sculpts of these characters. So they're probably going to be about 8 inches tall.
but they're also going to be like more evolved and stuff.
Yeah, like a Digivolve version of it.
That's what I'm always saying. They Digivolve.
So it's like a Digivolve version of that. Like, first one is probably going to be the little Croc Rev Dead guy. He's like kind of inspired by Doctor Strange and this weird nightmare I had about crocodiles. So it's probably going to be a really metal Digivolve version of that. And then there's Orion the Sphinx that I want to do too.
Like if Doctor Strange listened to Dio.
Pretty much. And yeah, and then Orion, he's the Sphinx. And I've been looking at a lot of pictures of Andre 3000 and who else?
Sexy ladies. No, I don't know.
And oh God, I can't remember. Parliament. Bootsy.
Yeah, Bootsy Collins.
Yeah.
Parliament and the like Funkadelic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been looking at a lot of pictures of him and stuff for inspiration and influence. And
It's gonna be like way more glamorous.
yeah, but very funky.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be
very
like funky glamour.
psychedelic.
Like, yeah.
Because with him, like, he's a Sphinx, and Sphinx, like, they speak in riddles. But him, I always imagine his riddles to be more like rhymes and like hip hop, and yeah, like so playing more off of that. And then
you know what they say about Sphinx?
Sphincters.
They stinkters. That was bad, you guys. I'm sorry. I'll workshop it. We're gonna do this episode.
Yeah.
You know what they say about Sphinx, right?
What?
I don't know.
You can rate this episode as the episode that the word sphincter has been said on the most times.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, let your listeners know. Educate them. Let them know what's going on.
This, hey everybody, if you're just joining, this episode actually has the most reference to sphincter and Sphinx in general.
Sphinx and sphincters.
And spunk.
Spunk? Oh, dang.
It's like a weird Sphinx skunk.
Yeah.
Who's also funk and punk.
I like that.
It's
I
my
think that
version.
kind of describes me, actually.
Yeah.
A little bit. A little funk, a little punk, a little stunk.
A little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if anyone.
You don't know if I'm farting right now or not, is what I'm
Hey,
saying.
don't
What?
stop it.
What?
No.
It happens.
So what else are you working on?
Hi. I've been drawing, you guys. So I've mentioned this before on the podcast and on social media and all that.
Immediately get sad.
I know. I don't really like drawing. I will if I have to. It's fine. I don't care. I don't feel that passion and excitement for drawing as I do like sculpting or sewing or other creative outlets. Drawing feels like a chore. But I got an iPad Pro, and then I recently got an Apple Pencil on Black Friday. Yeah, I got an Apple Pencil Black Friday, and I haven't stopped drawing. I've been drawing a lot. I love it. Like, I think digital drawing, which I would have never expected, works for me.
Because you love like being hands-on, and then you're like, but the only way I can draw is like the only thing like that gets your juices like flowing is digital. It's funny.
Yeah, like that's something I didn't expect, which I do know a lot of artists that mostly draw digitally. And like I never thought much of it. I was just like, okay, that's just their preference, like, or like,
I get it.
Yeah, like I think it's also like part of it is like everything else I do, like toy design or when I would do fashion. It's like I'm used to having to do the setup, having to like set up an area, having to clean up, making sure I have all the tools, making sure I have this and that, and drawing, putting that on top of it just seems like, oh my God, I have to get all my tools. I have to go do this and that. I have to go set up. I need the paper. I need all this stuff. And then like with my iPad, it's like, I just need the pen and the screen and I'm good to go. And like,
this is actually, I forgot. I'm so sorry. This is so late in the show. We're actually sponsored by Apple. This has all just been a giant ad read.
Apple Pencil.
Don't you just hate it when you want to do something, but you have to grab all your materials?
Apple Pencil.
But now, I just grab my iPad and Apple Pen, and I go.
Apple Pen.
No, I really do. I think it's really great. Like it's cool, and now I can like mess with it too. Because I'm like, let me play with your toys.
And like a lot of artists like have that issue with like, oh, it's weird drawing on it because it's like drawing on glass. And I'm like, oh, I actually kind of like that. It's smoother, and I feel like I have more control. And I don't know, like digital drawing on an iPad has been pretty awesome. I like it a lot, and a lot of people are like, what, you draw? And I'm like, oh.
I do now.
Kind of.
I used to.
It's not very good, because I'm going to say that, of course, because I'm an artist and haven't done this in forever, and I'm insecure and weird and...
Well, that brings us to the kind of end part of the show, where we talk about what we've been consuming. So, like, it's reading, watching, and for me, it's playing, because I play dumb phone games all the time. So I always like to update. I'm like, well... someone might care that I tried this game out and spent money on it, so you didn't have to. Well, and we don't have a console, so I get my video game like itch through silly, fun games on the phone.
Speaking of video games, I want to introduce everybody to Zombie Dog.
They're not ready. That was gonna be the big reveal on episode 150.
I know. Now people need to watch the video. They won't understand when I talk about this. Go to YouTube and look at my toy collection. Like 90% of it is mine.
and then look at the books and go, oh wow.
Let's look at
wow.
We were really cute, and like when we moved in together, we had a lot of the same books.
We were gonna reveal the toy on episode 150, but
there you go, Zombie Dog.
It's a zombie dog that she got as a gift
from Heroes and Villains when I used to work there. It was a going away present.
Now I'm going to have to think of something to do for episode 150. This is so embarrassing.
Oh my God. Anyways, yeah, what we've been consuming.
So we went and saw Coco, as mentioned earlier.
I only cried 3 times. It was fine. I didn't think about my Nana and Tata like throughout that whole movie.
I didn't even cry, so that was good. I cried twice. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I know.
Pixar and like family things always get me. It's always the father, the like parent to kid relationship. Just like,
girls, get you a man that'll cry during Pixar movies. They're real good.
Dude, if they don't know how to cry,
if they don't cry in Pixar movies, I don't know.
I don't know what they're doing.
Get you
a
man that cries during Pixar movies.
So then we also, and then this like past week we watched Brave, just because it has bears and it's a cute, adorable Pixar movie.
Yeah, Brave. I love Brave, and I love bears. Bears are actually my favorite animal, so that's one of the reasons why I like it. Because there's the bad bear, the big bad bear, and his Mardu or whatever. Mordor is his name. No, Mordor the bad bear.
That's exactly.
Yes.
Did you write the movie? Oh my God.
I don't even try to talk in a Scottish accent because I'm not good.
So she's so bad at accents. Cynthia's number one problem is her accents. It's okay though.
I just sound like a pirate when I do it.
Not even a pirate. I don't even know what they are. But I love the like Scottish Irish accent.
Oh, wait, I just want to point this out too, since we were talking about Coco. And Coco is like all about Dia de los Muertos. Look at what we're wearing. So he's wearing a Danny Martin shirt. It has the Day of the Dead cowboy and cowgirl. And I'm wearing a Dia de los Muertos skull from Dink. He's an artist in Denver. He's amazing. Most of his art is inspired by Dia de los Muertos.
We're just both wearing black also.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Coco I thought was really good. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be that person, but it could have used more Spanglish.
Of course, but I think there was also a lot of it in
like,
there. That
a lot of the culture was in there.
Oh,
like,
yeah, a ton
even
of the
though it was like
culture.
all in English, a lot of it, and they do like some of the little names, like they could have used more slang because I brought it up of like, okay, if Wally doesn't talk, but you understand what he's saying, it doesn't matter what language they're speaking because Pixar's so good at doing like contextually and through the emotion of the character, you know what they're saying. So it's like they could have. Anyway, it's not the biggest deal because it's still an amazing movie and like culturally, it is good. Like I didn't feel like it was appropriated as a white guy from from Arizona. No, but like I loved the movie and I thought it was really good. And
I thought it was fantastic.
And they said they were like caquitas, like little
the caquitas, yeah,
little cause caca like poop. They're like caquitas
from the spirits.
Yeah, it was really funny. No, it was really good, and I only cried a little bit. And then our Thanksgiving tradition of a Western movie and then a movie we decide on
because we're sentimental and nostalgic as it gets. So
Yeah.
we're like talking about Westerns. So we're like, oh yeah, I remember watching that. I remember watching this with my dad.
So we watched True Grit.
Yeah. Which is one of my favorites. And I totally forgot like how you can't understand anything Jeff Bridges is saying. Like it's like, Logan, we gotta put all these subtitles. I can't understand.
He's like, hold down, crowd. It's so good.
Which kind of sounds like Boo Power and my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we watched the Punisher series.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's fantastic. It's my new favorite Marvel TV show series.
Like since Luke Cage, right?
Exactly. And I like would have thought maybe like Henry Rollins would have been the perfect Punisher, but like
John Bernthal.
he was perfect. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
And his grunting, like that man grunts like so much throughout that movie. Like he's like, hey. He's like, you said it was like if Batman and Wolverine got smushed together and get Punisher. hot.
Smush them together. Just
Hot.
smush them. Just
I'm into boy love. Sorry, guys.
just-
Sorry, listeners.
Just smush them together.
Oh my God. Make a brown girl blush. Oh my God.
And then you've kind of been watching it. My like go-to background thing. So went through Office, went through Futurama. Now my new background TV show is that 70s show.
We kind of have like, well, at least I have guilty pleasures that I watch. Like I watch a lot of dumb things and
I don't watch everything I watch is very intellectual. Kids movies like Sing.
Sing is really cute.
No, yeah, that 70s show. It's like it's not great, but it's not bad. It's like endearing in ways. So that's like the go-to now background thing. It was, gosh, I was watching something else and they took it off Netflix, and then I was like, I guess it's gonna be that 70s show, and I hit the click button because that's how difficult my life is. And then we watched Baby Driver though.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say what I'm watching, but maybe.
Oh yeah, no. Okay. Well, we watched Baby Driver, and then we'll end on.
I've been watching Gossip Girl, you guys.
Let me just have some more of my wine juice.
All right, so I am a Sex and the City fan. I like Desperate Housewives. I like a lot of those shows. Like to me, it's so fascinating that a story so superficial sometimes could carry on so long, and the little twists and bad things that happen. Maybe it's part of my culture and what's in me, and for the sake of drama and novelas.
Yeah.
Like the women in my family, they all watch novelas, and they're all ridiculous and dramatic. And here I am watching Gossip Girl.
I mean, that's my CW shows. That's my Arrow. It's my Flash.
Yeah.
Or ABC Family shows like Greek. I don't know if any of you guys remember that one.
Yeah, but it's like I only watch that in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, so I could kind of listen and hear what's going on.
Like, you don't need
oh my
to know,
god, oh no, she didn't.
You don't need to know anything to like vaguely follow the show, or if you don't get what's happening, like whatever. And then Baby Driver was so good. We finally rented it.
Oh my god, Baby Driver!
Kind of mad we didn't see it in the theater. I feel bad.
I am so mad we didn't see it earlier. And like honestly, that soundtrack, that's what we need to listen to tonight.
I also love the use of sign language in movies and stuff.
No, I'm doing no in sign language right now. For those that are listening to the podcast, it's one of my favorite things Logan showed me in sign language, because now when I'm mad at him, I just don't talk and I do that. No.
Yeah. No, it was so good. It was, I watched this I watch video essays a lot. And so I watched this video essay on Baby Driver, because it was like talking about how there's the 60s movie called Driver. Then there's Drive with Ryan Gosling, and then there's
amazing music too. And
then there's Baby Driver, and I guess all three of those films are spoilers. Are based on like a French film from the 19 somethings, where it was like a
when cars were invented.
No, it was like, well, it didn't even use cars, and it was about this like very like stripped down, emotionless detective who was supposed to be like just kind of the trope of a detective. And then Driver was like, okay, what if you strip it down and make him like a detective, like, but that just like he's the driver, and like it ropes you into it and blah blah blah. So then the video essay goes on to talk about how like it's really interesting to just take that concept and what would you get if Wes Anderson directed that, or if Christopher Nolan. So it's really interesting that like Baby Driver, Drive, like they're all kind of the same but completely different because of how you tell a story and like where you do it. And so Baby Driver was really good on like multiple levels. And then speaking of video essays, I get really obsessed with stuff sometimes, and right now it's travel bags, because we go to conventions and we're gonna be going to more.
Kind of bounced around with that.
I know. Because I remember I was talking about like video essays, and then I remembered YouTube. So I'm sorry, I'm like going along, but I'm excited. I get really obsessed with like things. So when I'm like excited about a phone case, I will just look up 1,000 phone cases, reviews on it, people like looking at it and being like, oh, it's not that great. Like, oh, cool. I'm not going to. So I've been doing that with travel bags and everyday bags, because we're going to be going to conventions like more in our future. And it's all like, it's really exciting because it's all about like, okay, how can we get the most on the plane without paying the least, and how do we get it there, and how do you pack? And then I was like, okay, I want a bag that I can put my comics, my my computer in, but then it big enough that if I need to go take my recording equipment on the road with me, I can do that, or I can just smush it down and put it in a bigger bag to take out to have a backpack at the convention. And so I've just like been thinking about all these different things, and I've been going down the rabbit hole of bag reviews for some reason.
No, it's really like important. Think about that stuff. Like, I think for me, like, oh god, with toys, that's gonna be a way bigger challenge, and it's gonna be different. And I think I'm gonna have to ship things to places and pick them up wherever our destination is, because then it's like not only the toys but also the box. The blind boxes were easy because it was like
collapsible.
Yeah, I could like collapse the blind boxes. I could make them flat, and then I like pile them into my bag, and it's just like little 3-inch toys. Like, they're not very big, and I could just throw them all into a plastic bin and fit maybe 60? I think it was 60 or more into
something like that.
Yeah, into my luggage along with my clothes. And I don't pack too much. Like, I don't need too much other, just like some clothes and my makeup and like toys and
Some
whatever else,
stuff.
some things, and then
Snackies.
some snackies, and then the boxes were easy because wherever I got where I was going, I just like pop them up, put the toy in, pop them up, put the toy in, but once I'm doing bigger toys, that's gonna be interesting, and we're gonna figure out how we're gonna do that.
But it's gonna be really interesting talking to all these people that we know in the industry.
Yeah,
and
we've got a lot of tips from people.
How do you, as someone not signed by a company that just will have your books,
Even Russell Black, he gives us a lot of tips.
like how do you do these things? So it's really interesting because you do need to try to like save money to then like make the money at the convention, because the more money you put into it, the more you have to try to make it back. And
I know, it's like you're running your own business or something.
ew, gross.
Adult stuff. Ugh.
That brings us to what we're reading. Not really reading anything new, really. I've mentioned it on the other solo cast. Reading Batman White Knight by Sean Murphy, and Matt Hollingsworth, I think, is the colorist on that. He's like, but Sean Murphy's like writing and inking it. It's really, really freaking good. But I've been reading that. I'm reading Runaways. It's nothing new from like the last episodes, mostly because I have all these books to get to. But then, as mentioned, I'm trying to write all the books, and it's hard to do all that and then not just like go insane with a day job and take naps, little nappy naps.
Yeah. Like, I haven't been reading anything.
Is there anything excited you want to get to?
Not really. Not that I could think of right now. My mind has been like either drawing or Hearthstone. I play a lot of Hearthstone, guys. So if you play Hearthstone, comment with your gamer tags or whatever you call it on Hearthstone, and maybe we play some games.
What's your magic tag? I don't know what they're called.
I also play Magic the Gathering, but
Comment with your sickest card, bro.
your favorite deck. It's more about decks and what format you play.
What was
you noob.
What was the dopest draw you ever got out of
Oh my god, Jason Peterson is gonna comment. I know. He's like, well, my best draw, I had this really good draw during Friday Night Magic, but then I went I am 1-2 and I am Groot.
I love Jason.
That's what Jason sounds like, and I love you, Jason.
Well, okay, so Hearthstone brings us to like what we're playing. So
Hearthstone. Oh, and Jelly Defense. If you guys play tower defense games, this is like what's another good one? You had me playing the
tower defense, the Kingdom Rush stuff.
Kingdom Rush. Kingdom Rush is amazing. It's challenging. It's super good. If you like something and challenging in that realm, Jelly Defense, like the art is really cutesy, but it's like really hard. But it's a really fun game. I love Jelly Defense. That's what I've been playing the past few times when we had to be on, like I had to be on flights and everything, and love that game.
I get addicted to games and then I throw them away, or I look at games. Much like the bag stuff, I just dive into the hole of like, oh, I haven't played a game on the phone in a while. What is there to play? And then I'll like download 10 games, and it's like that's so. The other podcast on the Geeks Rising channel is Bandrew Says, and he just recently on his newest episode is talking about delete all the apps you don't need on your phone because it's spying on you. He's located somewhere in the world. And that's all we're allowed to say. Like, I'm not even allowed to know.
What's a Bandrew? Where is he?
Yeah, who?
Ew.
I thought it was just an internet thing. But he was talking about like, and I'm like listening to this, like, yeah, I don't just download stuff because I want to try it out. That being said, these are the games I'm playing. There's this new Street Fighter like match puzzle, like the matching puzzle, and then it explodes.
It's not really new.
It's new to the iOS,
yes,
in the App Store.
Yeah, it's Puzzle Fighter, guys. He's playing Puzzle Fighter.
It's playing them there Puzzle Fighters.
When the Street Fighter characters are all chibi and cute and they fight each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm playing that right now. That's fun.
Do you have a favorite character you like to play with? Because they have different combos for which character.
Yeah, I play as the what are some of the characters' names?
Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, E Honda, Blanca, Zangief.
Keep going. Was Ryu the blonde?
No, Ken is.
Ken. I got Ken. I got Ryu. I do have Ryu. That's how I say it.
Ryu.
And what's her name? Chun-Li. Those are the 3 I have right now. But I saw there's Mega Man, and I want Mega Man. I want to unlock the Mega Man in one of my gift bags, and I'm not spending money on that, though. I'm not going to drop money. So then I'm also playing Angry Birds 2, because I'm a child with a beard on his face. No, I didn't know that they even had Angry Birds 2, and I was like, oh, I haven't played this dumb game in forever. I guess I'll, whatever, check it out. And then I'm here like, it's
Are you
fun.
playing Flappy Bird too?
No. Stupid. I will now. No, and then Avengers Academy, I think I'm done with.
Which is like Farmville.
It's a dumb Farmville game. But it's really cute. The art's really good. The voice acting is really good. Like Dave Franco was a voice of like some of the characters. Like, so it has good Gus Fring from Rooster Teeth and Red vs. Blue was a character in there too. There's just like different voice actors, and it's like high quality, but you get up to level 30 and it just wants you to give it money to get things done faster, and it's no longer fun. It's a grind. And so I do my daily check-in, and then I just like put it away, and I'm like, this isn't, I'm getting on the edge of deleting it, but then I'm like, oh, there's a new Thor costume. I guess maybe I'll keep playing. So I'm probably going to delete it. Not that much fun. Lastly, Mega Man 6 is on mobile. They did like the Mega Man Legacy release for like all their games. And along like 3 or 4 years ago when I had an iPad, they released Mega Man X, but it was in a more chibi art form. I will say that is a better game because it's Mega Man X. The art style I don't like. I wish they would have done it as just like the 32-bit, like what it was, like the 16-bit era stuff. Yeah. But no, it plays better. It plays better than, because playing it on the iPad, you kind of have more room too. Mm-hmm. So you kind of need Twitch, like you need to be able to smush the pad to like for directions and slides that you don't have the responsiveness on a glass screen. So it was $2. So I'm like, okay, I love Mega Man. I'll try Mega Man 6, but
I feel like burned, and like I have like Mega Man trauma. Like I don't know, like, because of course there's been in the past like all the Mega Man stuff that was supposed to come out and never came out, or they took forever to come out with anything, or they would come out with something and it was horrible. So now it's like, I won't care until I hear about it on the internet and the internet's blasting about it being amazing, then I'll care about a Mega Man game. But yeah, because what's my favorite Mega Man game? I think it's Mega Man 8.
What was the one they released on Xbox Live or whatever?
Oh God, I don't remember.
I think that was 8.
I think it might have been 8. Whichever one has like Splash Woman in it, and I can't remember.
I think that is 8.
Is either 8 or.
It has like Sheep Man, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember at this point.
But yeah, I like the Mega Man X series, and then my friend had
which I don't know if you can see behind Logan's head here. We actually have a lot of Mega Man toys. You have like little Rush over there, and I have a Mega Man amiibo back there and a bunch of other stuff. And Roll, I think Roll is such an adorable, cool character design. I mean, that's one of the best things about Mega Man is like their character design and their music. But I just love Roll. I think Roll's so cool looking.
I like Rush.
I know you
and
do.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
He's a Mega Man. That's it. We reached it. We reached the end of the show.
Ooh,
one more episode in the bank. That's what they say now. It's not what they say.
No, they say skid it.
Scatman?
Skid it. That's what Lil Pump says. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Skid it.
That's the Paper Robots promise. If you liked Cynthia, thanks for hopping on the show and chatting about what we've been doing.
I'd have been in the other room still drinking wine.
And I would have been like,
I talk to people on the interwebs. Oh.
I think it just white balance would it just look like a white screen with a weird ghost voice.
Pretty much. That's why you need me in here, or contrast. I need you to do that balance and contrast. Oh my god, they just totally changed once I came over here. Now I'm back to being a brown girl, and now it's like, whoa, I'm so white.
Thanks.
What?
I get it. I'm white. But thanks for sticking all the way through this episode. It's a little bit longer than the solo ones have been. Got more episodes with more guests coming up in the future. And if you did enjoy the show, you can subscribe, you can hit the like, you can do all that stuff. Just share it. I'd rather you just share it.
Pressure you, but you probably should.
But no, I will hit you up on that Kickstarter when it starts.
I know. I'm gonna start a spreadsheet to see how many followers you have and who is actually liking it. Any of your stuff.
And then we're gonna buy one of those spyware things to research them.
Yeah, and it could give us notifications whenever you post something and somebody does not like something. We'll call you out.
This
and
is
ask
why
you
I asked you to marry me.
Oh, why?
No, this has been really great. Thanks everybody for listening or watching. If you're doing that now, thank you. Yeah, just share it. Give it a review if you want, or don't. Comment, and if you want your questions answered about life advice or other things, such as how do you tie your shoes in the dark, you can email thepaperrobots@gmail.com. That's thepaperrobots@gmail.com. That'll be in the description down below, or on Twitter @thatlogan. You can hit me up there. You can follow Cynthia at 10 times a tiger on most things via the internet. 10 times a meow. You can follow her there and get all the updates. And of course, you'll be back on the show. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later. Bye. 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 Bye.
This has been a Geeks Rising production. Your executive producer of Andrew Scott. For more information, head over to www.geeksrising.com.